So CS2 has some problems at the moment. Problems like cheaters, missing features, cheaters, a lack of large updates, cheaters, a huge disruption to the skins market due to the API being changed, and also cheaters. Things are so bad right now that content creators are even outright announcing that they quit. Not quitting case openings or anything like that, that'd be stupid, but quitting matchmaking and premium. And you might think, given the widespread discontent and the huge range of problems facing the game, that this skins market would be collapsing. But it's not. And in this video, I want to examine why. Now, this video is not sponsored, but if you could leave a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, that would be hugely appreciated. So there are three things we need to look at. Firstly, obviously, there's the cheating problem. Let's start there. So the current situation with cheaters at high ranks in CS2 is extremely miserable. Dima might be eating lobster 3 times a week, but he's pretty much the only winner here. People in general are having a pretty bad time. Obviously, hard numbers do not exist. There is some Reddit analysis, if you could call it that, from players at high elo, and you do need to read posts like this with caution, but they suggest that there are a lot of cheaters at high elo and premier, which is kind of believable, and that would help explain why some content creators are saying stuff like this. Now, at lower ranks and lower elo, you will be having a less shit time than Now is. Obviously, cheaters tend to rank up pretty quickly and cluster at high elo. How much less shit of a time are you having? Well, rather than trying to figure it out, let's just consider this. At the Copenhagen Major, Valve told talent who spoke to them that cheating was their #1 priority. If Valve admit there's a problem, there's a problem. But this is a great pivot because this is not the first time Valve have actually admitted there's a problem. In 2021, following months and months of intense complaining from the community that they're constantly meeting cheaters, far more intense complaining than usual, I might emphasize, Valve came out and essentially admitted that they'd accidentally left Trust Factor off for a while. Now, if you remember this time period, the community was not very happy, they weren't having a good time. But what happened to player numbers while Trust Factor was off? Well, they went up lots, so did skin prices. And the point I'm making here by showing this isn't that the people claiming cheating was worse than ever were wrong. They were right, it was worse than ever, but what I'm trying to show is that this doesn't automatically mean the game stops growing, short term anyway. Now, if you're rushing to the comment section right now, and I know some of you are, please keep in mind this is not me saying that cheating isn't bad, or it isn't a priority, or it isn't a problem. I'm not saying that. The point I'm just trying to make is that there isn't always a direct line between how bad the cheating problem is and how the player base is doing. And despite the current cheating problem, the player base is doing okay. A third of that growth is probably bots, by the way. Bots getting drops as it's making a comeback, that's another thing, but it definitely is a lot better than the player base shrinking, and if the player base is growing, well, there's gonna be more demand for skins. But let's be clear, player number goes up is only part of the story. Part of what's going on here is that the skin economy has already been fucked very badly. Because if we look at this chart here a little bit more closely, we are not exactly at what you'd call all-time highs. Sure, the last couple of months have been good, but there is a lot of pain behind that. Now, obviously what we're seeing here is the CS2 bubble. When CS2 was announced, people preemptively priced CS2 skins on the basis that they were going to cure cancer or something. But of course, modern game development is cancer, and Valve had to rush out an unfinished game to meet their own deadline, and this caused skin prices to crash. Or more accurately, it made skin prices crash more than they already were. We pushed prices up really high, and it all came tumbling down. Now, there's a financial concept called mean reversion that explains what's going on here. I'm not going to get into it though, because it's really boring. What I will just say is that, obviously, if the market has crashed already, it's going to be a lot harder for it to crash again, particularly if the player base is going up. We've already been fucked badly, so it's much harder to get fucked again. However, there is still more to this story, and this brings me on to the final and most important point. The skins market is actually in chaos at the moment. It's not immediately obvious, but it is in chaos. And a lot of it ties back to this retarded gambling drama that's been happening. So the skins market is very fragmented. There isn't really one single platform that dominates the market. Even Buff, the largest platform, is cut off from a significant portion of the player base. And because of that, it's possible for some really weird shit to happen. And we're going to be talking about this weird shit. So for a long time, trading was secretly a 2-tier system. there were normal traders who bought skins for what you might call traditional prices, but there was also a second group of traders who essentially had a superpower, and that superpower was the ability to sell skins on gambling sites at much higher prices than everybody else. Now, this had some reputational consequences, but it also meant you could literally afford to buy stuff at the prices other traders would normally sell them for, because you could sell skins for so much more than other people on gambling sites. And because the invisible hand of the market could be a pretty powerful fucking thing, this created an ecosystem where gambling site traders were essentially acting as a kind of middleman, with skins going from normal traders to gambling sites, and then often back to the normal traders again after they were withdrawn by gamblers. Now, this definitely not ethically compromised system chugged on for many years before it was violently torn apart by the very gambling sites that were making an absolute fortune from it. Essentially, for the last year, there has been a turf war between two large gambling sites after one of them decided they didn't want to share the cookie jar with their competitor. And due to the ongoing debacle, many gambling traders have been banned by Valve. And on top of that, there's been huge changes to the Steam API, which has crippled the whole trading ecosystem everything is built around, sucking a lot of energy out of the market and making trading a lot more challenging than it used to be. As a result, a lot of traders are being forced to sell skins for much lower rates than they used to. But this hasn't forced down skin prices, because the gambling cycle was never keeping skin prices up in the first place. Skin prices go up when ordinary players buy them and use them in game, and currently the number of ordinary players is going up. They don't go up when skins get cycled through gambling sites indefinitely. Essentially, part of the market has broken down without breaking the economy as a whole, because it's a very segmented and fragmented market. Billy Bob, the trader based in Latvia, might be finding it really tough right now with no one to buy his skins, but Zhang Wei, the Chinese gamer, doesn't give a shit and is still pouring money into skins on buff so he can look cool when the spin bots kill him. And even if Billy Bob goes and sells his skins on buff, well, he's then got to go and sell that buff balance to someone, and currently there's just not enough demand for buff balance, and people are being forced to sell it at massively discounted rates. Now, what's happening in practice here is that the trading space is very chaotically transitioning back to its pre-gambling state. Whether that's going to continue happening or gambling will make a comeback, that's not clear, but the point is, the skins market is in crisis. It's just a crisis that isn't affecting prices or normal players that much. And in a normal market, this should all be impossible, but skins are not a normal market. Skins are upside down, topsy-turvy land, and that is why stuff like this is possible. Still, the game is in a weird spot. It definitely really needs some big updates and definitely some improvements to the anti-cheat. That would be great. Even if skins aren't dying, I think we really need that. And in the meantime, trading is going to have to sort its shit out. Not that I think it's worth worrying about. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.